There and welcome to Navigating Life as an Immigrant Woman, where we share stories and challenge you to expand your thinking and leverage your immigrant advantage. If you are on that journey of becoming a successful woman, you are in the right place. In today's episode, we will be discussing something that every single woman goes through and can definitely attest to: identities. Um, as an immigrant woman, you probably have gone through so many seasons, so many things in your life on this journey, and you may lose your identity through these several experiences. I'm going to share a story I shared in my book, The Successful Immigrant Woman, about how I totally lost my identity. It was earlier on in my life as a parent and married woman. And my mom would call me and ask how I am doing. And I would always respond, "We are fine." And then after a while, one day she called and I said again, "We are fine." And she asked me, "How many are you?" And there are so many things to unpack about that question. But what struck me, after a while, I didn't even understand the question when she asked it, and I kept repeating, "We are fine." And then she says, you always say "we are fine," but I just want to know how you are doing. And that was when I began to recognize that I had completely lost myself. I was only defining myself through the lens of my family, my children, my husband, and all those other relationships. I couldn't get to think of myself for myself. And so it took a couple of years and working on myself to get back to a place where I can really champion myself. So today I want to encourage you to be your own champion. And we're going to talk about a few things when it comes to identity, because identity and self-awareness are so key to your success in your journey as an immigrant woman, as you navigate all the things, the challenges, the barriers, and the joys on your journey. It's very important to step back and ask yourself, what is your identity? Who are you? In your own terms. Have you lost yourself in all that is going on in your life? There are so many benefits to being self-aware. And I'm just going to share a few quotes that I find very helpful when it comes to think about self-awareness and self-identity. The first one is a quote from Ralph Ellison, and I quote, "When I discover who I am, I'll be free." There's so much truth in that quote, because you just, when you know yourself, you're really free. And I'll just follow up with another one by Maya Angelou, where she says, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, you do better." Just being self-aware doesn't get you to regret or be ashamed of things that have happened before. It just helps you to go back to that thinking of, why are you on the hamster wheel? It helps you and jolts you into action. Because now, when you know better, you're gonna definitely do better and you'll become a high-flying, successful woman. You'll be proactive because you know yourself better. You work from a place of strength. You will accept yourself for who you are because now you know nobody's gonna be telling you. I am a strength and success coach. And one thing I know from knowing about my strengths is it just tells me more about myself, and I'm very unapologetic about who I am. That's what self-awareness does for you. You also have self-control because sometimes you don't want to be the distraction and people say you're so passionate and you do random stuff because you don't know yourself. When you know yourself, it helps you to be controlled. You can actually exercise self-control because you know where you're coming from. And definitely that self-awareness just tops up your confidence. You may be wondering, how am I gonna be able to identify for myself on this journey what I want to be known for, how to champion myself, what is my identity? There are a few questions I can share, and you'll find more questions in my book, The Successful Immigrant Woman. But we can start with some of these questions because we know that success is sequential in the sense that it's something you do one step at a time, very intentionally. It's not something that just happens overnight. So here's my first question for you. How would you describe yourself using 3 words? Just think about that. If somebody just came up to you, how would you describe yourself using 3 words? For me, it's so helpful that I have done a lot of assessments, and one of the things I pull from those assessments is definitely words to use to describe myself, because that really helps me. Those assessments are speaking my language, and they have given me the language to use to champion myself. One example is I am a learner, and that means a lot of things for me. So when there is opportunities to innovate, to be creative, I'm at my best because I'm having a lot of fun as a learner. And for me, learning, it's not about the final destination, it's about the journey. So I just enjoy learning. So what is one word, or at the most 3 words, that you can use to describe yourself? Another question that you may be able to that you should ask yourself that can help you is, how would you describe the ideal you? For me, this question is really very important in championing myself, because a lot of times when we talk of success, when we talk of excellence, we're trying so much to live out the definitions that other people have set up, and sometimes that causes us to fail, that causes us to feel discouraged, and that causes our self-confidence to tank. But when you reflect and answer for yourself what an ideal you could look like, then you have drawn that avatar for yourself, and you begin to take those steps to get you to success. So I'm gonna stop right here for today, and I hope that you have found these questions helpful. If you want more questions to help you in identifying who you truly are and championing yourself, I encourage you to get a copy of The Successful Immigrant Woman. and you can find more activities and questions for your reflection. And if you enjoyed this conversation, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and I wish you an amazing time with all the opportunities out there. Cheers to your success.